I'm almost here. All right. Yes. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Deshatarine Panchakaupatarudescha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanidhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Antah pravishya mama vachim imam prasuptam sanjeevayat Akila Shakti Darasadam Nanyam Shahasta Charana Shravanat Vaganyam Pranam Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tunyam Svasyasta Vishwasya Kala Prasida Dham Dhyantu Putani Shivam Mithodhya Manascha Badam Bhajatata Dokshaja Adeshatam Nomati Adhyahai Tuki Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy. Huh? In the chat box. Shall we start with it? All right, so today we have third, and for the time being, last session. So rather promote told me that we have. Where is the chat?
Oh, you joined late, so it's okay, Maharaj. I'll post it.
Okay, then we will start with Ramananda Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You're very kind, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you. I just have one other question. It's about the Chaturvyuha. Near the end of the Bhagavad Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami writes about the about Vishuddha Sattva, and you gave this amazing lecture for Janmashtami a few years ago, where you were speaking about this, that Lord Balaram, he manifests, you know, the material and spiritual world. Everything is resting on his energy through the Sandini potency, and that when the Sandini potency becomes prominent in purified consciousness, and the Adara Shakti becomes manifest. You gave this amazing example that it's like the glue that holds everything together. And then that through the Hladini potency, Srimati Radha, she gives prema, which was Guya Vidya. But then what about the Atma Gyan, the Samvit potency? Nowhere that I've come across have I seen it elaborated. Who takes charge of the Samvit potency? Who manifests it?
Krishna himself. Krishna is the predominating deity of Samvit potency. Radha is the deity of Hladini Shakti, and Balaram is of Sandini Shakti. So Krishna himself is in charge of, you know, he's the source of consciousness, he's the source of knowledge, and he's the source of consciousness. It's like, you know, like in sometimes when prime minister is there, and prime minister sometimes keeps some important portfolio for himself. He doesn't give it to somebody else. So like he may play the role of the foreign minister, being the prime minister himself. So Krishna, he is of course, the in charge of everything, but he keeps this portfolio of knowledge or consciousness for himself. So he's the Adishtar deity for Sambit Shakti.
So it has nothing to do with, Vasudeva being in charge of pure consciousness and Sankarshan, Ahankara, Pradyumna, and Aniruddha. It's nothing to do with that. It's Krishna himself taking.
No. All the potencies are coming ultimately from Krishna, but he's specifically in charge of this aspect of his potency. Yeah. Chaturvyuha is something different. It's more or less the explanation of how the original person, Krishna, expands himself in different realms and how he manifests himself in different realms and everything else. But it doesn't have anything to do with this particular question.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you very much. Maybe you can turn on your camera. I just want to see you for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a camera hooked up.
Okay.
Old
Okay, no
computer.
problem. No problem. Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay, now we have Balaram. We have question in the chat, right?
That's it.
From Amani Radha, right?
Yes.
You might have already answered this, but mine is a basic question about what is the significance of reading, understanding, and applying the principles of Srimad Bhagavatam other than Ramayana or Bhagavad Gita, how this Shuddha Tattva scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, helps mankind to transcend the three modes. Most of the cantos in Srimad Bhagavatam is about the devotees of the Supreme Lord and how does those stories help us. What is the purpose of this Vedic scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the right way to honor this Srimad Bhagavatam? Well, the purpose of this Vedic scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam, is very clearly explained by Sutta Goswami in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam in the 7th chapter of the 1st canto, where he says that this is the description. Of course, it's explained in many different ways, but just today I read this particular verse, which is appropriate. Yasya Vaishruyamanayam Krishna Parama Purushe. So in this verse, it is said that, in the previous verse, it was said that Vyasadeva composed Srimad Bhagavatam, Lokasya Janatam Vidvams Chakre Satvata Samhitam, Anartha Pashamam Sakshat, Bhakti Yoga Madhoksha. So in the previous verse, it is very clearly said that Vyasadeva saw that Srimad Bhagavatam, or Bhakti Yoga, or meditation on the qualities of Krishna, is the sakshat, the most direct way to overcome anarthas or identification with matter. And in the next verse, it is said, what is the result of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? Yasya Vaishruyamanaya Krishna Parama Purushe Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsam. So Bhakti here in this particular verse means prema. So the special feature of Srimad Bhagavatam is that by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, you may develop prema. Nothing less than this. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, while explaining this verse, he says what to speak about hearing. If just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam you can develop prema, how much more you will develop if you engage others in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. then your attachment to the Lord and your relationship with the Lord will enhance even more. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, how much more you will develop if you speak Srimad Bhagavatam. If just hearing Srimad Bhagavatam gives you prema, then engaging others in hearing Srimad Bhagavatam gives you more prema. If you speak Srimad Bhagavatam, gives you even more prema. And he says how much more prema you will develop towards the Lord if you engage others in speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's exactly what Srila Prabhupada did. he heard Srimad Bhagavatam himself, and he started speaking from Srimad Bhagavatam, and he engaged others to speak from Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's the special feature of Srimad Bhagavatam as opposed to Bhagavad Gita and Ramayana. It is not said anywhere that just by hearing Bhagavad Gita you will develop prema. So, and why it is explained again in the same section of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because Srimad Bhagavatam specifically describes the qualities of the Lord. And while hearing about the qualities of the Lord or meditating on the qualities of the Lord, in particular, two qualities. As we know from the story from Brahma Vaivarta Puran, Shukadev Goswami got interested in Srimad Bhagavatam because first he came in touch with the quality of mercy of the Lord. Aho vakiyam stana kalakutam jigam sayapayat apyasadvi lebhegatim datruchitam tatonyam kamvadayalum sharanam rajema. First he heard, how merciful is the Lord that he gave even Putana in the position of his wed mother or the nurse. And the second quality is his external beauty, his svarupa. So his svabhava and his svarupa. Basically, Srimad Bhagavatam directly describes svabhava of the Lord, or his emotions, his emotional qualities, so to speak, and his svarupa, his external beauty, and the sound of his flute, his dress, and the surrounding of the Lord. So by hearing about these qualities and different devotees, which you mentioned in your question, that different devotees, they experienced differently the Lord. The stories about different devotees of the Lord, they're not about the devotees. This is about the relationship which these devotees develop with the Lord, with particular aspects of the Lord and particular qualities of the Lord, and how they experienced his qualities. So by hearing about the qualities of the Lord and by hearing how others experience the Lord, we may develop little glimpse of the svabhava of the Lord and his svarupa. And in this way develop bhakti and ultimately continue hearing and engaging others in hearing and speaking about Srimad Bhagavatam and engaging others in speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. We will develop more and more appreciations of the qualities of the Lord. So that's the specialty of Srimad Bhagavatam, and it is specifically says again in the same section of Srimad Bhagavatam that initially Vyasadeva composed Bhagavata Purana, but then what he did, Anukramya, he rewrote it in such a way that the qualities of the Lord become very much prominent, very much in the forefront of this scripture. Before it was this Purana about Bhagavan, about different incarnations, about different pastimes, but he recomposed this Srimad Bhagavatam in the form which is available to us now in a very specific way, so that the qualities of the Lord would become very much prominent, and the qualities of the Lord would affect our relationship with the Lord. So this is my answer to this very important question. Now, Balaram Pran and Lalita want to ask some question. We'll try to answer. Yes, very happy to see you.
I'm very happy to see you. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. 3 days in a row is amazing. Thank you. I was reflecting on a lecture you gave last year, February 2024. It seems like it was in a college to university students, probably in India. And it's about the consciousness and pure consciousness. And you were explaining the stages or what happens when one has this pure consciousness, that we start to perceive reality in a correct way. One experiences the soul. And you mentioned how this experiential journey is actually only happening on that pure stage of consciousness. So in connection to that, I have a couple of questions, but mainly two things. How does it really look like externally, this pure consciousness from one individual to the other? Meaning, like, what would be the position then of our false ego? And I was thinking about this because yesterday we had a discussion in our pranama course, and one devotee said, like, I will never be humble. So, and I've heard these statements. I also think sometimes like this, that when I see a certain devotee so humble, I think, okay, let's admit it, in this lifetime, I will never be like this. But assuming that different individuals reach that pure consciousness, so does that mean that they will all be externally at the same level of humility? Will they all?
No,
Yeah.
humility may manifest in many different ways, and the qualities of devotees may manifest in many different ways. And that's why we have Srimad Bhagavatam, or descriptions of the lives of great devotees. You know, there's everyone is unique in you know, again, I was answering this question about the mistake of Western universalism, when we hear that, you know, everyone is a spirit soul and everyone is the same, and everyone has the same qualities, Satchitananda. We may have a very distorted vision that everyone is just, you know, just same. It's like tomatoes in a supermarket, you know. They try to make them look exactly the same. But even in supermarket, every tomato is still individual, despite the very strict control. So every devotee is unique. Srila Prabhupada manifested his you know, humility in a very unique way. There is this very famous picture of Srila Prabhupada when he is like this, you know, this very, you know, head raised and chadar, you know, so and he said, this is my humility. This is how the humility manifests. His humility manifested that he preached all over the world and spoke with royal persons and Beatles and everyone else. So don't worry, you will become humble, but you may not notice it, and others may not notice it. But if you develop the pure consciousness, it's a natural feature of pure consciousness, because you always feel naturally very humble in front of the Lord. You know, pure consciousness means you feel his presence and you feel his greatness and you feel his, you know, amazing qualities. So internally, you always feel humble, but, you know, sometimes you need to manifest externally something. Being an ambassador of a particular country, You may be humble yourself, but you're a representative of a great country, so that's why it may manifest differently. So don't worry. If you keep in association with devotees and purify your consciousness in a very natural and spontaneous way, qualities of pure consciousness will manifest in you. We don't try to develop the qualities separately. We stress more on the purification of consciousness in a proper environment, proper association. And then the natural qualities of the soul will transpire.
May I ask, can we connect this to any of the stages of spiritual development, this pure consciousness?
Well, many times I describe my chemical experience when you have different, bottles, and it is written pure, chemically pure, or extremely pure. The purity has different gradations, grades. And if it's just simply pure, as a chemist, I may say, if on a bottle it is written that this is something pure, it means that there is a lot of mixture of other things. When it is written that it is especially pure, then then it means that mixtures are very, very minute. So the same with consciousness. Prabhupada said, all my disciples are pure devotees. There's no doubt about it, because we all follow the path of pure bhakti, because we all understand that this is the path to follow, that we should strive for the purity of consciousness. But then, on a level of nishtha, most of your anarthas are gone. But still you identify very much with material body. So level of nishtha is like the standard purity. It means that you're dedicated, you have firm faith that there is a Lord, and that ultimately you have to enter into this pure relationship of service with the Lord. But then after that basic stage of purity, because anarthas are already, most of the gross anarthas, gross manifestations of our identification with the body. On the level of nishtha, it's a very tricky stage, because we still identify with the body, but all the gross manifestations of our identification with the body are already gone. So we don't have so much anger, we don't have so much lust, we don't have so much greed, but still we identify with the body, even though there is nothing to, there is no fun of identifying with it, because you cannot manifest lust and anger and greed, all these beautiful qualities of material identification. So that's like basic level of purity. There is no gross manifestation of impurity, but still it's not completely pure. And then ruchi comes, and then after ruchi asakti comes, and then bhava comes. So many other manifestations of pure consciousness. So that's what Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is all about. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is a science of consciousness, and how consciousness is being purified, and how the pure consciousness manifests itself in different ways, in different forms and shapes. So that's the subject matter of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Therefore, it's our main Abhideya Shastra.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. And we're looking forward to have your association whenever Krishna desires. Thank you.
I missed my retreat in Germany. I wanted to come. I really wanted to come.
We know, Guru Maharaj, yes.
And many times I was determined to come, but somehow or other Krishna didn't want me to come. Didn't allow me. I didn't have Sukriti to get the darshan of Prahlad Nrsimhadev.
We hope you are happy and healthy wherever you are, Guru Maharaj. Thank you.
Thank you. My computer always says that my internet connection is unstable. Shall we change the internet? No? Okay. Okay, Smriti has another question.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. It is very nice to see you again, and we are very grateful for these sessions with you. I also
Now you're frozen.
and the lectures were fantastic. Okay. My question is about preaching. I teach English and Hindi online, and my students are from all around the world. So sometimes I like talking about Krishna and the philosophy. I understand there are two ways of preaching, a direct way and an indirect way. So I want to know, should we preach Krishna consciousness through vegetarianism, peace, love, and philanthropy, or should we stick to the essence of Krishna consciousness, which actually I really like to just cut to the chase, but I realize people, yeah, should we stick to you are an eternal spirit soul, human life is made for God realization? Yeah, which one is better? Which one is superior? Hmm. Yeah.
It really depends on the preacher. You know, the preacher only sounds convincing when he realized what he's talking about. Those who hear him, they immediately can recognize that he's, you know, speaking from the heart, or he's just speaking because he has to do it, or because of some other reason, because he wants to manipulate me. So it really depends on what you are comfortable with. If you are more comfortable with speaking directly and you feel pleasure, it's a very safe way, because people will be, it will be contagious. People will feel that you're very much convinced, and they will be happy to hear you speaking directly about Krishna. There is no need to speak about vegetarianism if you feel that this is something, if you're bored by speaking about vegetarianism. In some circumstances, it may be appropriate, yes, but only if you feel very strongly about the subject matter, you should speak about this. I remember, I was the first one in Russian language, in Russian-speaking ISKCON, in Russian-speaking world, so to speak, who gave the seminar on Ayurveda. And I was very much fascinated by the science of Ayurveda, probably because of my scientific background. When I encountered this manifestation of the science, Vedic science, I was very fascinated, and I decided to give the seminar on Ayurveda. But by the end of the first lecture, I felt so bored by speaking about this. And but after that, I gave some other lectures on Ayurveda. And it was much more enlivening, because at that point, that was many years later. I kind of I knew how to connect Krishna consciousness with this indirect, so to speak, presentation of Krishna consciousness. But at that point, I realized that speaking about Krishna is much more fun than speaking about Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So, or vegetarianism, or peace and love, it's good. And some people are very good at this, and and they feel strongly about this. Let them speak about this. There will be many grateful listeners. But if you feel very strongly about Krishna, speak about Krishna. People will be grateful.
Is it also okay to bring it through consciousness? Because people respond to that more easily than Krishna directly about, yeah.
Yeah, but we should not necessarily cater to the interest of people, because we know that the highest interest of any soul is to know about God. We may start with something which is of their direct interest, but if we know how to connect it with their highest interest, even though they may not be conscious or may not realize that this is their interest, then, if we feel strongly about it, people will be touched. Yeah, I remember this beautiful story which Mukunda Maharaj describes. He was, just in the very beginning of his devotional path, and he liked Swamiji, and he before he wanted to go to India, so he thought, let me ask Swamiji to teach me Sanskrit, and he asked Srila Prabhupada, can you teach me Sanskrit? And Srila Prabhupada says, yes, of course, you can come to me. And Michael Grant, at that time, Mukunda Maharaj, came to Srila Prabhupada's loft, and he said that Srila Prabhupada wrote to him in Sanskrit, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachitananda Vigraha Nadiradir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam, and he spoke something two sentences about Sanskrit, and then the rest about Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchitananda Vigraha. And Mukunda Maharaj writes in his beautiful book, Miracle on the Second Avenue, that he said for 1.5 hours, Srila Prabhupada non-stop speaking about Krishna. And Mukunda Maharaj was leaving the loft and was thinking, this Swamiji seems to be really into Krishna, and he was really touched by Srila Prabhupada's enthusiasm. Even though he came with different purpose and he wanted to hear something different, still he was, it was very contagious when Prabhupada spoke about Krishna. So you may start from vegetarianism, peace and love, psychology, and psychoanalysis, or whatever you like. Vastu Shastra, I don't know.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, Amrita Lila, we can hear your question, and then we follow.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my obeisances. Thank you for this opportunity. I have my main question, but I also had one tiny question following Ramananda Prabhu's. So we know that Krishna himself is in charge of Samvit Shakti, but isn't like Shakti always female? So should have some kind of female personification. And the
Not
same for
necessarily.
Sandhini Shakti. No?
Like Sandhini Shakti is Balaram. This is Shakti. Yes, Shakti is female, but the deity of this particular Shakti can be male. You know, it doesn't have to be female. Like Balaram is in charge of this Sandhini Shakti, and Krishna is in charge of Samvit.
Okay.
He's in charge. Samvit means consciousness, knowledge of oneself, or Atmagyan, knowledge of the soul. So this is all directly, you know, Krishna is in charge of this, and that's why he's speaking Bhagavad Gita, and that's why he's you know, different aspects of self-knowledge is under his portfolio.
Thank you. Adi Chaitanya Prabhu, your mic is on. We can hear noise. Or if anyone can mute, maybe. Anyway, so my main question was, we just had an online Bhakti Vriksha meeting, and it seems like everyone is really struggling in every aspect of life. Like family life is difficult, health, work, everything. And sadhana too. So of course, like the danger is that people will start hating their sadhana, like japa, because it's so difficult, and the mind is protesting a lot. And I feel very inadequate to help because I'm also struggling in many ways. So could you recommend something in such cases? Because the best thing I can say is like, just, yeah, it will be better. Just focus on the things that really inspire you in Krishna consciousness.
No, I think the very approach is wrong. It starts with the approach. If you approach sadhana with this idea that this is something which I'm forced to do, that this is something which, you know, my life is so difficult, I'm so burdened by all these responsibilities, and now on the top of this, I have to do this, you know, spiritual activities, which is, you know, which don't bring me any satisfaction, but, you know, I'm stressed out, and now I'm even more stressed out. So if this is the initial attitude, then of course, better you don't do it even. So sadhana is something different. Sadhana should not be just yet another burden which we have. We have so many responsibilities, so many difficult things, so many struggles which we have to go through, and now yet another struggle with my 16 rounds, and sometimes I defeat my rounds, and sometimes my rounds defeat me. No, we have to, when it comes to sadhana, the attitude should be different. Here is a few minutes, whatever few minutes from your busy life you can dedicate. This is my time when I can, you know, think about the Lord, think about my relationship with the Lord, think about the most important, essential questions of the Lord. And this is not a burden. This is something which I need very much. You know, the sadhana, especially chanting, should be done in a relaxed way, not as any other stressful activities, because if you do sadhana and you feel even more stress than before, it basically means that you're doing it through your false ego. Your ahankar is there. You just added something to your ahankar. I'm a family man, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, and I'm member of Bhakti Vriksha, and I'm member of ISKCON, and I'm a devotee. But this is all part of false identity. And therefore, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. When it comes to sadhana, you're not the doer. That's the beauty of the sadhana. You don't have to be stressed. You relax and you try to to facilitate the the holy name coming through you or coming upon you, and this is your deity and you are interacting with it. It's not a part of your ahankar, my identity, therefore I have to do it. No, it's a completely different approach. And therefore, if you do it properly, you feel more rejuvenated and more fresh and more energetic to do all other duties. All other duties you have to do. But this is something which you should learn how to like to do it, because this is not yet another duty, but this is something different. I don't know how to express it, but I think anyone who knows it, the first thing which we should do, people, I saw it many times, especially when you chant in the temple, people are, they try to concentrate on this, but this is the false approach to sadhana. You relax, and then the holy name in the relaxed way, it comes through you, it comes on your tongue, and you experience a lot of pleasure by being with the holy name, by being in the presence of the holy name. You're not forcing the holy name, you're not forcing your consciousness to concentrate. You are in the presence of the holy name, and you stay in the presence in a very natural and relaxed way. You are in the presence of God in the form of holy name, and that's different. I don't know if I explained it.
Thank you. So we should try to relax.
Yeah, please try to relax.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Nicola.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisance. Thank you for this blissful 3-day opportunity. I have a question about Vaishnava Parada and about asking for forgiveness, because I found myself in a situation where I make a lot of aparadas, and I'm not sure what to do with one special devotee. I was involved in one fun community attempt, to build fun community with devotees. I was there 4 years, 4 years full time with my wife, and then the children came, and then we realized it is not developing how we want to develop, and then we leave. We were speaking with devotees about half a year that we are planning to go, and we have a full support. But when we go, we didn't have support. It was really badly experienced for us. So we lost everything, even material and spiritual. I lost my best friend from devotee. So that was before 2.5 years. I was very angry on that devotee and on the main devotee who is, taking this project. So as I start your Pranam program, I realized how to be respectful and how to have a proper respect for them. So I changed the things in my heart. I'm now peaceful with that situation. And with the devotee with who I was 4 years every day and every night almost, I meet with him, I apologize to him, and it was really nice because he get tears in his eyes, and I get a big relief from my heart. But the other devotee, who was my mentor at that time, when everything finished, he just wrote me, "You don't contact me anymore, you don't ask me anymore, we are finished." And we always have some kind of impersonal relationship, like master and servant, not much love included. But I want to really take care for that part of my life, to finish with that, because I taste the fruit of apparatus, and I really want to clean everything like I should clean. So my question is how to approach this devotee. Should I just send him like a letter, like email, or should I call him, or it's enough that I peace myself with him in my heart and that I have respect for him, or what to do?
If he's adamant, if he really doesn't want to have anything to do with you, and what can we do? It may only provoke more negative reaction if you approach him at this moment of time. So there is no need to force yourself. If you feel that you will be able to somehow or other change his heart by your humble letter, that's fine. If you don't feel that it will have an effect, just be satisfied with the fact that you begged forgiveness from him in the heart, and try to chant more of the holy name. It's not always we will be able to gain the forgiveness of all the devotees. In this case, we just humbly in our heart we beg their forgiveness. If we're peaceful and if we feel that Krishna reciprocates within our heart and our chanting is good, that it's okay. After some time, you may approach him, and you may, because after some time it may become a little easier for him to accept your apology. So don't be in a hurry. If you feel that the time is not ripe, and if you feel that, you said that always your relationship were a little formal. So just take the respectful distance from this particular devotee, and always manifest and externally, respect him, and internally respect him, but take the distance. The proper distance is good. No, that's actually the science of relationship, to know which distance we should take in this particular case. So don't be too anxious. It will never happen that everyone will love you. Be happy with that you have close relationship with some devotees, and then Krishna loves you, and that's enough.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes, Dinabandhu.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Maharaj, my question is Maharaj, generally my service is preaching to the different students. So when I travel and preach to the students, so generally we meet with the students and they have a lot of problems. And when they share the problem with us, so Maharaj, it's sometimes it's very difficult to remain, our consciousness can be like in a pure state. And in the last Vrindavan retreat, you have mentioned that our meditation should be very pure, and the constant meditation of Krishna's holy name person should be there in our consciousness. So Maharaj, sometimes it's traveling, meeting so many people, and specifically listening for hours and hours, sometimes the problems and counseling the students. So how to, Maharaj, as a preacher, how to protect oneself, and not only protect, how to increase our standard in Krishna consciousness so that really we can help to others rather than being infected by by the same problem.
I recently spoke with one friend of mine who is an Ayurvedic doctor. And he told me that his teacher who was teaching him, he said that when you are consulting others, taking pulse of other people, you will take some of their karma. And it's an art to help them, and at the same time not to be affected by their problems and their karma. And this particular teacher taught my friend, he said that, after it's a must after the day of consultations when you deal with so many people and their problems, their physical problems, their illnesses and everything else, their karma, so to speak. It's a must for you to go to the shower when you finished with this. And while you're taking shower, meditate how the shower is, washing away all their problems and, forget about their problems and, start reading or chanting or whatever, doing whatever you need for your own purification. So I don't, by repeating these words, I don't recommend specifically this method, but the principle is the same. It's like this, we have to be, to be able to help others, we also have to develop the ability not to be affected or not to be too much affected by their problems. You should always you should try to help them, but at the same time you should have some mantra within your heart. It's not my problem. And in this way you will be able to help them better. It's not that you remain callous and who is asking to start me AI companion? Somebody,
Sorry, Guru Maharaj,
participant has a...
accidentally I pressed it.
Okay. So it's not that you will become callous or indifferent to their problems. Yes, be there with them, but at the same time, try to meditate on Krishna, and Krishna is doing it through you. You're not the doer. At this moment, when you're counseling, when you're, trying to help other people, just meditate that Krishna is doing it through you. And Krishna will give you some ideas. Krishna will protect you. And, taking shower is also a good idea after a long day of counseling and, just, wash away and Hare Krishna, and come to the devotees with your heart and listen some lecture or give some lecture or whatever. Do something which is blissful, and that will help you to be protected. I hope it helps. I really have to finish. So since Damodara Priya already asked her question, I will... Yeah, Dipti and Brajaraj Gopal, these two questions I will answer, and Damodara Priya, she has unlimited questions, so we'll have some other time to answer her questions. So we'll start with Brajaraj Gopal and then Dipti, and then we'll finish.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Ramabhadra Priya is there also. He has been trying to ask his questions. So 3 questions. Okay, Rajaraj Gopal Prabhu from San Diego,
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you
from
so
another part, from another end of the world.
It's so blissful to hear from you 3 consecutive days. Thank you so much for your time. Maharaj, recently I had asked a question through Radha Pramod Prabhu about the deity of Yogamaya Devi, and you had given a response. I was in that you mentioned something about how Krishna helped Rupa Goswami find Yogamaya Devi in this form. Could you maybe elaborate a little more on that pastime? Because I'm not able to find a reference for it.
I need to do more research. As far as I remember, when Govindaji deity was found or manifested himself in this hill, where when they did excavation, also Yogamaya deity was also there. But I need to do more research. I'm not 100% sure. Let me do it, and then I will answer in this conference where you ask the question. Okay.
Yes, Maharaj. And then in connection to that, like this form of Yogamaya Devi looks like Durga Devi. Should we as Vaishnavas prefer to worship Yogamaya Devi in her expansion as Tulsi Devi, or should we
Oh, yeah,
worship?
sure. Absolutely. No. We as Vaishnavas, especially as followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we worship Yogamaya in form of Vrinda Devi or Tulsi Devi. That's our main relationship and main manifestation of Yogamaya. That's why we're chanting on Tulsi beads, and that's why we're worshiping Tulsi plant. And that's why it is a part of our sadhana, and that's why Srila Rupa Goswami himself mentions it in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that should be our worship of Yogamaya through Tulsi.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Since you're muted. Okay. So Dipti.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. My question is regarding free will. I've been trying to understand that for some time. And before asking, I actually went through a couple of your lectures, especially the one from 2016 in Israel. And there you had mentioned that free will was in the context of surrendering to Krishna's will, or some kind of an irrational resistance at some very deep level of the soul. So my question is that the only choice we have, and everything else we do is this giant equation of cause and effect depending on this choice? Or do we also have micro choices during our day-to-day activities? For example,
Of course. We do have, every one of us has free will. There is, I don't remember the name of the scientist who wrote the whole book, that there is no free will, that it's all predetermined, that it's all just activities of our neurons, and it's just an illusion of free will. And then he says, yes, I know it, but still, when it comes for me to choose which movie I want to see tonight with my family, or which ice cream I want to taste, I still think that I have free will. So people, even those people who are adamant and who say that there is no free will, still they exercise their free will. People exercise their free will constantly. And, what is the point of writing the whole book that there is no free will if there is no free will? So why do you have to write a book about it? it's already predetermined. It's completely ridiculous. Every one of us feels that there is free will. And we do free will. Like during this lecture, several times I wanted to drink this coconut water, but then I looked in my watch and I realized that it's too late to drink this, and I didn't drink. So it was my conscious choice, and it has nothing to do with surrendering to Krishna. it's just common sense.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj.
Okay. Ramabhadra Priya, you have been trying to ask your question since the first session.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, I just wanted to get a little clear understanding when Rupa Goswami defines pure devotion, Anya Bilashita Shunyam. There is a term which is called as Nirupadi and Saupadi Bhakti. Saupadi is more of a Mishra Bhakti, but Nirupadi is Shuddha Bhakti. And based on my understanding, Maharaj, even sadhana bhakti is ahetuki, it is causeless. Sadhana bhakti also means bhakti that we manifest. So I've been trying to figure out, Maharaj, it looks like, even sadhana bhakti is very, very, very exalted stage where bhakti devi actually manifest. And ultimately by that sadhana, we can attain sadhya. So I feel myself at least that I'm far, far away even from the practice of Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. And, it's years of practice and we seem nowhere near, where, the Sadhana Bhakti stage we reach, Maharaj. So can you just give us some insight into this, Maharaj?
This kind of thinking is not favorable to bhakti. So therefore it should be discarded. It's not anukul. Yes, if we analyze it very minutely, we may say that sadhana is out of our reach because it has to descend. But, we never hear Srila Prabhupada saying this. So he is encouraging us and he calls our chanting sadhana, and it is sadhana. Yes, it may be not sadhana in a proper sense of the word. It may be some sort of abhas. But if we have intention, and intention is to approach Krishna, to come closer to Krishna, and ultimately develop bhava, according to the definition of sadhana bhakti given in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, if we are doing this sadhana with the goal, with a clear goal to develop bhava, some feeling, that is sadhana. That is definitely sadhana. And don't. It's very depressing, when we start thinking, I didn't even start my sadhana, and this is all. You're doing your sadhana. Don't worry about this, and be happy with doing whatever you can. If you're doing it with the devotees, according to, with the studying shastras and in the association of devotees, it's offensive. Don't offend your sadhana by saying that this is not sadhana. So just do your sadhana and try to be happy with the sadhana which you can do, and definitely you can increase your sadhana. And with this, I should finish it because some other pressing engagements are there. But I'm very grateful, and sometimes in the future we will have some other sessions. Yes.
On the camera.
Huh? Maybe, yeah, you can turn on your cameras and then we can say goodbye to each other.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Prabhu.
you so much.
Thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guru
Thank you,
Maharaj.
Guru
Thank
Maharaj.
you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna.
Maharaj.
Thank you so
Hare Krishna
much. Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank
Krishna,
you.
Mother Pranam.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so
Thank
much.
you.
You
Thank
live
you.
in time.
Thank you. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.